Recently, I've come to see myself as an intuitive.
Okay.
So what that means to me is individuals have spoken to me who've said, you know, I'm curious about this, or I'm working on this. What do you see? And I share with them what I see. And in terms of how that relates to this material is that I've been coaching for a lot of years. I've been coaching for about close to 20 years now. And I've just always been in a role of being a teacher or a facilitator or just an individual who sort of helps people along the way and helps make their way easier. And I found that when I was working with my clients that there was a way that I was looking at life that was a little different. And I didn't think I was, but now through having people coach me and intuitive speaking into my life, I've come to realize that there's a context for looking at life that could help people along the way.
Okay.
And so I've championed a lot of mentors. I've worked with some brilliant, brilliant people who have amazing content and amazing techniques and have really assisted me along my path. And I just see this as an add-on. I see this as an and also to all the beautiful work that's already going on out there and can help people along the way with what they've already got on the go that's really brilliant and really wonderful.
Excellent. How did you find yourself coming into this line of work? Is it just something you've always been interested in and just pursued it?
No. My original degree is in theater.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that explains
yeah, I have
lot.
a double major in directing and what they call developmental drama.
No.
So that's my background.
Awesome.
And what happened was when I first went into the workforce after my degree, in the province of Alberta, Calgary, in the city of Calgary where I grew up, we had major cutbacks. The government was doing a lot of fringe, what they called fringe funding cutbacks, and of course the arts were considered fringe.
Always.
So anybody who had a degree in the arts, or reframe, anybody who had a job in the arts was hanging on to it very white-knuckled because they were really afraid that the moment they left a job or if they moved on to something else, there wouldn't be a something else to move on to.
Right.
So I entered into the workforce with virtually nothing available to me after my degree, which was a little daunting. And so because I had the developmental drama background, which is geared towards education, and at the time it was geared towards the school system, doing drama in the school system.
Sure.
But I never liked it for that. I liked it for more of a, I don't want to call it more of a therapeutic background, but it was about people allowing themselves to grow and have insight into themselves through the means of doing exercises and techniques that help them to become better actors.
Okay.
Even if they weren't actors, it still allowed them to have more insight into themselves, and I loved that. And so I found myself doing after-school programs, and I found myself, you know, making up curriculum and just doing workshops and doing little things on the side. And what happened was I wound up getting called into a college in Calgary. I knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody. It was kind of like 3 generations of referral, who knew a gentleman who was the coordinator for an arts curriculum at a college, but he wasn't at the college permanently. He was actually with an art school outside of the city. And so what happened was I became an adjunct professor at this college through this art school that was conducting the curriculum at the college. And it was really interesting because my students would say, you're actually making a living in the arts? Because by this point, nobody was making a living in the arts. And I said, well, if you consider teaching because there's this phrase of those that can't do teach, right? If you consider the teaching legitimate, yeah, I know it's not, it's not, I don't like that phrase, but anyhow, I said, if you consider what I'm doing right now, and they said, well, could you coach me on how it is that you're making work for yourself?
Interesting.
So that's how it all started. It just started really just in conversation. It found me. I didn't find it. And what started to happen was I started to find that the techniques that I had learned were valid in the workforce, were valid as a way of individuals getting a handle on themselves, were valid as a way of people getting in tune with their purpose, getting in tune with who they are, what they want out of life. And that just began a whole other era.
Excellent.